Welcome. It's Erlinda Vo and James Van Hofwagen, and we want to welcome you to the Get Rich Book Club. While we're waiting for people, as usual, we do this song and dance every week, but while we're waiting for people to join us, we'll just do a little dance and we'll just wait. We want to just cover a few logistics. So don't forget to like my fan page, Erlinda Vo, where we go live each week for the Get Rich Book Club. Join us on Sundays at 4 p.m. Central. And we have a closed Facebook group for anybody who wants to join and be a part of that community to share more privately. If you want to text and be a part of our text message money mantra system, please go ahead and text GRBC to 33222 to become part of that text messaging system. One more time, James, give it to them one more time.
33222. Text GRBC 33222.
So welcome. This is, we are actually talking also about bringing, having another person or two people maybe joining us in the future. So that would be exciting. And we have some cool stuff coming along. And this week, I don't know if it was much better than the last couple weeks, but I think we're on the upswing. What do you say, James? Yeah.
Definitely on the upswing. Save a couple technical challenges today, but definitely on the upswing.
Yeah. So if you're here, don't forget to let us know you're here. Thank you so much for joining. So I'm going to, hi, Rebecca. Thank you. I am Erlinda Vo, the Energy Alchemist. And I'm really here all about transforming bad vibes into good ones. How do you increase your frequency so that you can vibe up your energy to match your new level of success? And my co-host here today is...
Hi, everybody. My name is James Van Hofwagen. I am a realtor here in Chicago, and I help people fulfill their dreams through real estate.
Great. Thank you. And as my friend Diane would say, it's Mercury forward. So today's last day of Mercury in retrograde. If you don't know what that means, you can look it up online. James was mentioning about the technology breakdowns we were having just a little while ago. Lots of stuff happens, lots of miscommunication and things, but we're on the upswing, I think, you guys. So thanks for sticking it out. Thanks for going on this roller coaster ride with us and for trusting us and for really coming here each week to be in the gym with us to build the mindset for wealth, okay? Just a real quick reminder, I want to just remind you that the specific intention, hi Anna, the specific intention is for aligning your energy with what you are creating for your own income, wealth, and abundance. And that's really why James and I are here. We're here so that we can not only do it for ourselves. Our commitment is that we align our own energy with our new level of success, right? But with what we're creating for our own income, wealth, and abundance. And that's why we're here, you guys. So thank you so much for taking time on your Sundays to join us. And you notice a lot that we say a lot of gratitudes. Like we're like, thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up, saying hello. Thanks for making comments. If you heard the last session, our last call, it was all about gratitude, right? So we just really profoundly appreciate you when you get a group of people, even if it's small or large, get a group of people together, building the muscle for their mindset for wealth. Life starts to alter, and we're talking about like abundance, like health, wealth, money, relationship, everything, all areas of your life. So let me start by just doing a little recap. So last week we talked about faith and we talked about gratitude. Last week, if you haven't seen it, you guys, James and I kind of got real a little bit. We kind of got raw and real feelings out there. We shared a lot. We were very, very clear that there's something happening. Okay. And some people can blame it on Mercury retrograde. Some people can blame it on whatever, the stars, their parents, all the different things, the genetics or whatever, right?
The rain.
Blame it.
Blame it on the rain.
Blame it on the rain. Exactly. It's actually raining today in Chicago. That's funny. No, you guys, but for real, we got serious last week because last week was kind of an interesting time for us. We created this so that we can cause breakthroughs and really up our game and our mindset for money and wealth. And we had some kind of major breakdowns happen, right? Like some major stuff happened, some major transitions, some major things. And we kind of didn't know where to go from there. And, the first thing we went to was like, let's just not do book club. Can't we just skip it? And I remember, it did cross our mind. I'm not going to lie. It's not like that never happened. So as you're going out after your dreams, as you're creating your intentions, your desires, there will be times when you're like, no, I don't want to show up. And you just got to keep the faith and have some gratitude. Okay. So let me just talk a little bit about last week. So your fortune is in your faith. Faith shifts your focus off the past and opens up new opportunities that will create a new reality. Faith also raises your frequency. Faith helps you grow into a new identity. I think this was the one that James, I don't know, you might agree or not. This is the one we were kind of really dealing with. It's like this whole new identity of who we need to be doing and forwarding this book club. Who do we need to become? Who is this new person that needs to be here so that we can hold the space for the amount of riches and abundance and health that we want and relationships that we want? Like, who do we need to be, right? And I think that was kind of what we were experiencing last week, is a little bit of growing pains. So you guys, wherever you are, you may be experiencing some growing pains. You might be over that growing pains already, but notice that it's like when you have that faith, it helps you grow into that new identity. It also strengthens your relationship with the universal intelligence. Hi, welcome to the new people. Faith strengthens your self-confidence. One of the things we took from last week was having do you look right now, do you have unshakable faith in yourself and in the universe? Interesting, right? Can you wake up and say that you have all of that? So faith strengthens your self-confidence. It also strengthens your abundance mindset. So let's talk a little bit about gratitude. Gratitude unites the unites you with the universal intelligence. Being grateful matches your frequency with the frequency of the universe via your thoughts and feelings of love. Gratitude allows you to raise the energy you meet each situation with. So again, thanks for being here. That's our recap from the highlights from last week. And I wanted just kind of to open this time up, James, to see if there's anything you want to share about faith and gratitude as you took that into the week last week.
Yeah, so last week, like you said, in the last chapter, we got really real. Both of us were going through some stuff. Came right up against our relationship with who we have been being and who we're creating ourselves as actively, especially when it comes to, right, not just the book club, but in all facets of life. So when you impact one area of life, you're going to impact all other facets of life as well. Yeah. And who you know yourself as will start to shift, and you're going to have to take that out into the world. So this week was great. This week was really great. Really got clear on some things after last week. Erlinda and I work pretty closely together on some things when it comes to the energy that we're creating, the energy that we're putting out there. Erlinda coaches me on some things. So I took everything that she coached me on last week and I brought it, just took it on. And talk about taking a leap of faith. I don't want to say too much because it gets really personal for me. Not that I don't love you guys, but
This is Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of like what we've said all along. Um, Having the faith that I can take that leap, and no matter what happens, it's all going to be okay, right? Like, truth be told, none of us know what's going to happen tomorrow. We have an idea, right? Like, some of us are going to get up, go to work, put on our clothes, take a shower, brush our teeth, right? We have an idea of what we're going to do, but in reality, we have no idea what's going to happen. We can't. We just don't know. It hasn't happened yet. So how can we possibly know? So having faith that everything will work out the way that it's, that it will, and that no matter how it works out, it'll all be okay. That's not always easy to take on. And I took that on. And over the course of the week, so by Tuesday night, everything was right as rain. Just, yeah.
Really? Nice how he doesn't share that until right now, huh, guys? Oopsies! I forgot to tell you, Erlinda.
I've been doing little happy dances and yeah.
Yeah.
But like, look,
you did the work, though. You did the work.
I did the work.
I mean, we started on our last call where you and you could see the call because I watched it again. You could see the call, and in the beginning, we were like humming along, like we were like, right? But we were pretending. We were like, yay, that whole like fake it till you make it. We were like, yay, book club. Yay, here we go. Okay. But yeah. You can tell and you could see there was these moments of transformation during that whole hour conversation that James and I were having. And so what I wanted to point out is that in the middle of the conversation, as we got towards the end, we started to really be grateful for this call because we forgot, like, oh my God, we're just creating the gym to alter the mindset. And it's not going to be all fairy tales and cupcakes and whatever sprinkles, and sometimes it's going to be freaking rage or hate and anger or like giving up and whatever. It's going to look however it looks, because when you declare to the universe something, or you're like, okay, like, right. And the first thing we did to shift, because you can notice there, it was gratitude. Remember, you heard my voice. I'm so grateful. That started the shift. And James, thank you for sharing, because James and I met after book club, right? So we had to have book club to start the foundation, to shift into the new mindset, to have you guys be there, knowing you're in the gym with us, knowing we're not alone on this roller coaster ride that we decided to create, right? And James actually took the action. He did the gratitude. He came and he saw me and we worked together, right? And he did the work. So that's really important, because sometimes when you're talking about faith and gratitude, people are like, oh, but I just have faith. It's going to come. I just know. Why are you laughing?
Because I hear so many people say, like, oh, I'll just pray. I'll just pray on it, and everything will be taken care of, and like, it's okay. That's half of it, you guys. The other half is exactly what we're here talking about today, decisive action.
Yeah. And
there's a reason why it's called the choice of champions. Yeah. So I don't want to get too far ahead, but that's the other component of it, and that's what Erlinda's addressing, and that's how we're going to segue into this week.
So I wanted to share a little bit about what opened up for me with faith and gratitude. Really, like, I actually, because I consider myself spiritual, and I'm like, oh, of course I have faith. But it shook me to the bone. Like, do I have unshakable faith in myself? Like my mind, it's like, can't grasp that, you guys. So this week, like, because I have a lot of faith in God and in the universe and the divine, right? I have a ton of faith, unshakable faith in that. And I do not have unshakable faith in me. So I took it on. Like, where can I have, like, okay, do I have unshakable faith in myself? And I'm telling you, that was just that one little muscle exercise this week was so great. There was so much surrender that I had to do last week. There was so much, like, just knowing who I am and knowing the person and the contribution I am. And it opened up kind of my heart again. Because I think in the last couple weeks, when you deal with a lot of stuff coming at you, sometimes your heart can harden or get closed. So this week, in practicing the unshakable faith with myself, it started opening up my heart to be able to trust myself and to trust the process. So I wanted just to share a little bit about that for me. The one thing I also want to do really quick, because, we're, like James said, is we're going to talk about decisive action today, okay? And it is the choice of champions. And one thing I want to say is there's a couple promises as I've been moving forward with the book club that I have made that I haven't really kept to yet, that haven't been completed. It's in process, okay, you guys? There's a couple videos that I need to do about essential oils. There's the book needs to be released. The little PDF book needs to be released. We're going to turn this into a podcast that I'm still working on, and some YouTube videos. So as you can tell, there's quite a bit of list of things that we're trying to kind of map in together to do this. So one of the things that in my experience, and I think James would agree, is that when you're about to take decisive action, you don't want to necessarily step over stuff that you may have promised or maybe incomplete, right? You don't want to step over it. You just want to acknowledge it, like I'm doing right now. Okay. So I promise that between the next 2.5 weeks, we would have those things done. Okay. Now, I hope somebody on my team is here so that one of my producer people can help keep me accountable with that. Okay. So, but no, actually, that's my promise, and I will get it done. Okay. Why I said that this book club was different was because we use essential oils to vibe up, to maintain the higher frequency. Okay. And between all the other aspects of putting the book club together, I let some of that stuff drop. So I will promise to hold that in the next 2.5 weeks. And this is what you do. And this is what it looks like when you're a leader and you're building the mindset for wealth, and you have some promises out there that you haven't delivered on, is to acknowledge it and to re-promise. Okay. So I wanted to say that because that was when I was looking at developing the unshakable faith in myself. It's to know that I can keep my promises. So you guys can count on me to get that done in the next 2.5 weeks, okay? And when you start to make that new promise, you stop holding against yourself all those things. Like, oh my God, I'm bad and wrong. Oh my God, I did this. Right? You stop hiding and you start to build the unshakable faith in yourself. So that's what I got out of last week, and I wanted to come on here and say that, okay? This is a way to develop your unshakable faith in yourself and in the universe. James, I know that's kind of a new insert that I kind of did right now as we're going this. Anything you want to comment on that?
Other than the fact that I used to consider all the essential oil stuff complete woo-hooery, and now I totally am like 100% convinced that it no nonsense works. I don't really know what else to say about it. I mean, it and everything else, right? About repromising, getting clear on what you did do, what you didn't do, what your commitment is. All that stuff is completely requisite. Like you said, don't step over anything. If I don't know if anybody out there is like me and maybe is holding a grudge against someone for like promising to do something 25 years ago and never, coming through on it. Look, you guys, all that happened was that there was a promise made, that promise wasn't kept, and to acknowledge, hey, the promise wasn't kept, I got it, and it won't be kept. Or like, okay, I made you that promise, now you're dealing with the impact of me not fulfilling on it. And, I'm really sorry, what can I do? And let me make you whole. right? So taking life on like that will shift your reality. It'll shift not only your reality, but it'll shift how you occur for other people,
Yeah.
right? You will regain your sense of power. You will actually be powerful.
Yes.
Because people will now start to relate to you as someone who, oh, wow, James said he was going to do that. He didn't do it, but then he came back to me instead of me going to him and being like, James, dude, what's up? Why didn't you do that? And I can be, so like people will relate to you as someone who takes on your life as a no nonsense commitment.
Yeah, it's great. And I want to also put in that if you're keeping every single one of your promises, I promise you, you are living in a small world.
Yep.
You will break promises. That is not the problem. It's just make sure you start to restore it, okay? And it will build your confidence. It will build your faith in yourself. It also gives power to your word, okay? So let's kind of dive in a little bit into this chapter. And you guys, just so that I know you're out there, just drop a little note and say, I'm starting to have faith in myself and the universe, unshakable faith. Say something, say hello. I know some of you guys are saying hello. Just let us know you're there because we're going to jump right into the conversation that Jen Sincero is talking about. And she talks about a little story in the beginning. James, do you want to kind of tell us just a short little vision of that story?
Yeah, I do. And to piggyback off what you just said about if you're keeping all your promises, you're not playing a big enough game. If you're not keeping any of your promises, you need to scale back.
Yes.
Really, because you're creating messes, right? If you're not keeping any of your promises, your life is a mess.
Yes.
And the rest of the world relates to you as a mess. Knock it off. Scale back. Start taking little steps, right, to rebuild your identity, right? So let's jump in. That being said, let's jump in because the story that she shares is it's about Touching the Void, which is a movie, I guess. I haven't seen this movie.
I haven't either.
But I remember seeing something, we've all probably seen movies like it where, people are going on some adventure, tragedy strikes, and they have to do something drastic to bring themselves out of this tragedy. And that's the story that's being told. In this particular instance, right, they climb a summit, blizzard hits, everything goes sideways, and I guess the one character or maybe a couple characters are literally crawling back to survival, just one step at a time. And I guess the guy broke his leg. He's like leaning on using an ice axe as a crutch, which doesn't really work. He's slipping and falling and banging his like broken, mangled up leg everywhere, and he's hollering in pain. And that is often how we relate to life as we go through it, right? Like we're just clawing and scratching for any little piece that we can get, maybe. And to get through it sometimes takes some tenacity, right? So one of the things I think last Sunday, Erlinda, that I said to you when we met after book club was that, like, I survive. That's my thing. I survive. And anybody that's watching this, if you're watching this, you do the same thing. You're a survivor. If you weren't, you wouldn't be here. You would already be croaked and in the ground or in the clouds or wherever you go after life ends. So how does this relate to our journey to to get rich?
So we have a couple of comments. Sarah says, I'm a survivor too. Rebecca's talking about an app for her company, like declaring things. So you guys, thank you for saying some comments. We really appreciate it. And yeah, like surviving. Yeah, surviving. It's like, no more surviving, you guys. It's about time to thrive. Okay, so there's this thing. So this is what I wrote in my little agenda. OMG, when Jen said, this guy is served, this is her words, so I'm quoting her words. So if you don't like cursing or anything like that, I apologize in advance, but I'm going to just say what she says, okay? This is me. Oh my God, when Jen said, this guy is served one colossal shit biscuit after another, after another, after another. It is his mindset is the only reason he gets out of there alive. Okay, so when you're in survival and you're served up those colossal shit biscuits, which I've never heard of, which I think is kind of funny, but that stuff coming at you over and over and over and over and over again and up in your face, like over and over and over again, the mindset is really the only reason he survived and got out of there alive. This is the reason why we show up here every week. We're building the wealth mindset muscle over and over and over again. So when the shit biscuits or after shit biscuits show up over and over again, we have to keep building the muscle and keep showing up and keep playing the game, right? Like, hello, you're not alone. You are not, I promise you, that you're not alone in dealing with life coming at you with storms and rains and lightning, okay, you guys? And if you think for a moment, wait a minute, she's kind of talking about my life or my journey, with making money, right? Like you might be, I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to make this much. I'm going to do this. I'm going to start my business. I'm going to find the woman of my dreams, the man of my dreams. I'm going to whatever it is, right? You have these things and you might think like, oh my God, Jen is talking about my journey with making money or abundance or having a relationship, right? You're served all these like biscuits, right? We'll call them biscuits, some S biscuits over and over and over again, okay? First and most importantly, what she said was, you need to decide to live. Notice in the book, she says, decide to live. She didn't say decide to be rich. Now, I'm not saying don't decide to be rich, but she is talking about deciding to live, to really live the way you would love to live. Otherwise, every bump in the road, every time something goes wrong or falls apart, you will pull out your handy dandy favorite excuse card or your scripted convincing soliloquies on quoting whatever makes excellent sense to you in the moment, okay? You start weighing your options. Now, for those of you who have a job, for me, I weigh my options every morning. How much time is it going to really take me to get to work? Are my partners in the office? Are they not? Can I cut 2 minutes off here? Do I really need to do my hair? Do I need to we start to weigh our options, right? So really, first and foremost, you must decide to live, okay? And live the way you would love to live with the abundance, magic, mindset, money, the best relationship, have windfalls and typhoons and of money, right? And abundance and riches and joy and happiness and excitement. And you don't have to be as high-pitched in your mind as I am, but you get the point, right? You have to have a 10-ton gorilla of no nonsense, decidedness, breathing down your neck to do what it takes, to plow past your fears and your subconscious. Your subconscious hell knows, and you have to leap into the unknown. And James would be the 10-ton gorilla of no nonsense. Yes, you have to have that. No nonsense decidedness, you guys, breathing down your neck. Because if I wasn't breathing down James' neck that morning when he was like, I don't think I can make book club, then he wouldn't have gotten to what he got to on Tuesday, right? And if I don't call him and he's not like, I don't care, get on, right? Or whatever, right? When I'm dealing with my stuff, if he's not that 10-ton gorilla of no nonsense on me, right? We support each other. That's what this is for. Get the support. Reach out to people. Okay? Plow past your fears and subconscious hell knows and leap into the unknown. Okay, so honestly, tell me below if you're somebody who loves the unknown. I want to know if you love the unknown, because I hate the unknown.
We're actually,
anybody else like me? Or yeah, what, James?
We are evolutionarily predisposed to hate the unknown.
Oh, so it's not just like a Erlinda phenomenon, like something's wrong with me?
Nope. Our brains actively seek to find certainty. So yeah, if you, so there are two types of people, right, when it relates to certainty. There are those who have done the deliberate practice and work that it takes to become comfortable dwelling in the unknown. And there are people who absolutely hate it. They will hide under the covers just because it's safe, it's known, and at least under here, I know that I'm missing out on life, and that's okay because I don't know what life has in store for me.
Or like the Netflix time zone vortex or something, right?
Sure, yes, exactly.
So we are programmed.
We are evolutionarily, yes, evolutionarily, our brain, because what is predictable is safe and allows for our survival.
Woo!
Okay.
Give it to us again, James, because like that cleared some energy for some people.
Yeah, so what is predictable is safe and provides certainty and allows for our survival. So guys, there's nothing wrong. Please don't hear what we're saying about being safe and finding certainty being something wrong or bad, right? However, if you're looking to grow yourself beyond what you know yourself to be or who you know yourself as, and you keep doing what you've already done out of a sense of feeling safe or certain, chances are you're really not going to stretch yourself and grow into the person or achieve the results that you want to achieve. If you've ever, say, I don't know, run a 5K or a marathon or a triathlon or any kind of physical activity, right? Whether you're in the gym, or Linda likes to use the metaphor of being in the gym. If you're not failing, I actually had this conversation earlier with a friend of mine where, he was like, what do you do when you go to the gym? And we talked about failure. He goes, we go for a certain number of repetitions, like say we're doing bench press. We go for a certain number of repetitions where we know we're going to fail on the last one. Because if we're not failing on the last one, our muscles aren't going to break and then have to rebuild themselves stronger in order to do more the next time. So guys, taking decisive action and deciding is what's going to really make you fail. The game is to fail. It's not to win all the time. If you're winning all the time, knock it off. If you're the smartest person in your group of friends, find other friends. Not to say that your friends aren't lovable. You can love them to pieces, right? But are you growing or are you not? If you're not growing, you're either green and growing or you're ripe and rotten. I've carried that one with me for a couple decades. So
sorry, I didn't kind of quite give you the laugh I think you were expecting or something.
I don't know.
You guys, we're here a little bit kind of like in your face today, like you should, da 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 da. And really, you don't have to do any of this. You could do some of it. Take what works, take what doesn't work. We're just sharing what's been working for us, you guys. And I know James and I both have had a shift. We've had a turning point, right? And there's still some biscuits coming at us and stuff's happening because that's life happening, right? So don't take anything we say as like you have to or like we know better, because we're in the game with you. We're in the gym with you, right? I do those bench presses What is it? Bench.
You clearly do not do bench presses.
I have to have one of those. What do you call that when I do that, James? What is that? It's like it's like a part of my personality. I don't know exactly what it is, but anyways, yeah, you get the point. When you're in the gym and you're exercising your mindset, right? And you're like building the muscle, right? Like it really takes something. And yes, there is failure. And failure isn't bad. And the faster you fail, the faster you can actually get to your intentions. Because, imagine if you meet somebody and you think they're the one and you spend the rest of your life with them, right? And imagine, right? You spend the rest of your life with them and you really didn't, and then it fails like 11 years later, right? It's like, I wish that would have failed a little bit sooner, just a tad, right? So it's not about like trying to avoid the failure. It's embracing it, you guys. Go ahead.
And say you're in a new relationship. You're probably, that was a cute look. There
Sorry, I have this like one hair.
Your eyes crossed.
I know, because it was like right here.
That's amazing. Anyway. Say you're in a new relationship, or you're in a new job, or you're in a new venture, right? And you find yourself coming right up against failure right away.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to, a lot of us try to avoid failure at all costs. Mm-hmm. I've done it, right? Even recently. And I had a fear that kept coming up of screwing it up, not doing it right? Like just sabotaging it. And that fear of sabotaging myself was having me sabotage myself. There was some other stuff, but for sake of simplicity, I'll let that be that. The simple fact of the matter is that in allowing myself to actually articulate that was what was driving my behavior, right? I put out there that, hey, this is what's running the show right now. I'm probably going to fail at this. And, what happened, going back to faith, what happened was that was met with a ton of compassion, a ton of love and generosity. And, like, I was like, look, I'm probably going to screw this up. And then it was like, whoa, no, dude, calm down. You're not going to screw anything up. Just, like, be with me and like, we'll work it out. So, sometimes if you lean into the sense of failure, right? If you actually just like go head first into it, you'll fail. You might fail, right? You might actually fail, but you'll fail faster. And so take what you learn from that experience into the next experience, right? Because what you'll see is you'll start to see that, oh, okay, well, that really wasn't a failure because XYZ. That went exactly the way I needed it to be so that I could, move this forward over here. Doesn't always occur like that in the moment, guys. I know. That's where the faith piece comes in that we addressed last week. But let's talk about, let's get a little bit more back into decision making and action. Sometimes all it takes is making a decision, right? So I don't know what you guys are up to in your own lives, right? If you're up to something, if you're creating a business, if you're working a job, if you've got some kind of important fork in the road, if you will, coming up in your life, make a decision. Make a decision, right? It might not be the right decision, but make that decision. And make it now before you actually have to turn left or right, right? Because and plan for no contingencies. Because if you have a backup plan, you haven't made a decision. Okay? Let's get into the root of the word decide, right? So Erlinda and I have a shared background in education that is this is a big thing, right? And it keeps coming up in everything that we do, right? The distinction of deciding lies in language, and so the Latin roots of the word decide, right, means to cut off, right, or to kill off. So
we do not want to do that.
Sometimes we do.
Most of the times.
Exactly. Most of the time we want to keep all the good stuff. Right?
That's why they talk about like dating. Why is dating? Dating is like, yeah, I'm still deciding whether or not I want to be in a committed relationship with you or not. I am not sure because I kind of have some backup plans over here, or like, oh, here's my business, but I'm not quite sure. So I have my full-time job. Okay. Exactly. It's a backup plan, right? And you got to be honest. Come on. How many people really decide, right? Like, okay, this is it. We're going for it full time. Like, I don't know. Yep. We decided we were doing book club, and then we were like, oh, just kidding. We decided not to. And then we're now like, okay, no, we said we did. We decided with no backup plan. We're doing this. And here we are. So.
Yeah. And as it pertains to today, right? So I decided to do this, right? Today, I could have used any number of excuses to get out of it. Okay.
I think he's saying that because he wants to let me do one by myself to get me back for the time he did one. I'm pretty sure, but that's a side note. Go ahead, James.
there's only a little truth in that.
Okay, good.
But so my computer was acting up. Usually I broadcast from my computer, right? Computer wasn't doing what I needed to do. So I'm like, well, whatever. And no, I decided. So guess what? I went and I found another piece of technology to get me here so that right? No nonsense. I made the decision. Killed off every other thing that could keep me from being here at 4 o'clock on Sunday, right? So a firm decision sets everything in motion and alerts universal intelligence that this is the way it's going to be, right? Like me being on this call today, this is the way that it's going to be. And it starts moving everything you need, right? Be it ideas, opportunities, people.
Hang on 1 second, James. I'm so sorry because I want you to get into this, but I want to address a comment about I decided to cut off this medical diagnosis. I just want to be clear, like, we're not medical professionals, you guys, and so really just be responsible for your own well-being, okay? And I think it's more of a decision to be healthy. Okay, that's kind of like switching the context of like, instead of like deciding to cut something off necessarily, is like, I'm going to decide like without like anything else impacting is to be healthy. Okay, so kind of a little bit of a mindset shift in that, because obviously we don't have any medical degrees, and if doctors are saying something, we're not going to debate that. However, we are of making a firm decision with the universe, right, where it sets it in motion, as James is just about to tell you. I just wanted to put that in right there because people are dealing with medical stuff. Trust me, I know some of you guys. You guys are dealing with some medical stuff. You're dealing with some well-being stuff. You're dealing with heartache. You're dealing with a lot of stuff. So it's not like cut off any other like thing, but really once you make a decision for what's going to forward your life and your abundance and in your wealth and health and all of that, decide that. Like, decide health, decide wealth. Decide to live the life that you love, right? So write down, I decide to live the life I love starting today. Okay, go ahead, Jane. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to make sure I put that in.
Key distinction there, right? So Guys, right now I can't see the comments just because, like I said, my technology is a little bit different than it usually is. So I don't know what was just said. But like Erlinda said, go general, right? I decide to live a healthy life, not medical practitioners, not trained in anything medical, right? Erlinda was going through something a little bit medical even earlier today,
This
right?
morning, in case my lips look a little like out of awkwardness, my lips swelled up. I had like an allergic reaction, and of course I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna be on book club. I gotta right. And I decided, and then I was like, so I went straight down to the pharmacist. I said, excuse me, what's going on here? And she said, take 2 Benadryl. So now I'm like falling half asleep. But the point is, physical stuff does happen. But I decided I'm going to be on this book club with a swollen lip or not, right? Like, I decided I'm going to do whatever I need to do to be on this book club, not resist this, take care of it, get what I need with it, and decide to be here to show up, even though my lip's a little crooked and
So
swollen.
when you made that decision, right, you alerted universal intelligence, like, hey, no, this is the way it's going to be, universe. And then the universe is like, oh, okay, I see. Well, then let's get everything put together, right? So it started moving everything you need, the ideas, the opportunities, the people, the things, everything you need in your direction so that you could be here on the book club today,
And look
right?
what, and look really what, beautiful, right, James? Come on.
Exactly. Exactly. You got the hair
I
going
gotta
on.
train. I gotta train you a little bit, for relationships. Like, gotta, hello.
I mean, yeah, you got the little curl in your hair. You're doing the thing.
That was
Yeah,
thanks to my team member.
there you go.
Woohoo! But yeah, you guys, seriously, this is really important though, because it wasn't like I'm like that. I'm gonna decide that that's not there. Okay, like last week I went to urgent care because my top lip swelled up. So I am having allergic reactions, you guys. So I wasn't like this morning when I started getting another allergic reaction. I wasn't like trying to deny that. Okay. It's just like I decided, okay, I'm going to get whatever I need so that I can be here and be on book club. Okay. Go, James.
Yeah. So big changes, right? Big changes lead to overwhelm. Anybody overwhelmed? Most of us are like, right? Like,
I hope this roller coaster buckle works.
Yeah. So, overwhelm is a state of mind, just like calm is. I'm going to say that again. Overwhelm is a state of mind, the same way that calm is. So you get to choose. If you get to choose where you're going to be. Are you going to be in overwhelm or are you going to be in calm? The wind is going to blow no matter what. Living in Chicago, right?
I did. That made me laugh for some reason.
Well, yeah. So look, Chicago is nicknamed the Windy City, but it's not because it's necessarily windy here. That's not why it carries the moniker. But where we live, right next to the lake, it's windy. And you can be steadfast when that wind hits you, or you can let it blow you back and you can be overwhelmed by it. The choice is yours. Okay? So in the face of, that was kind of a pun, but in the face of swollen lip.
Say it again. Say it again because I didn't get it. Sorry.
In the face of having a swollen lip, right, this morning, you could have been like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and run around like a chicken with your head cut off. Or you could be like, okay, look, I got a swollen lip. I'm going to take care of it. No drama, just take care of it. Okay? So what you chose to do, Erlinda, right, was you investigated the specifics.
Yeah.
And then you chunked everything into manageable pieces, right?
Yes,
So
I did.
you were like, my lip is swollen. Maybe I'm having an allergic reaction. I should see someone, right? These are all the manageable chunks. And then you said, okay, well, I'm going to go see the pharmacist. The pharmacist said, okay, yeah, take 2 Benadryl. another manageable chunk. And then you took decisive action.
And I woke up in overwhelm. I did, because I was like, because last week when I went to urgent care, my whole lip was swollen, right? So this time it was like half my lip, and I was like, what is going on, right? So the panic set in. It was overwhelming, right? And guess what? I'm dealing with some big changes. Overwhelm comes when you're dealing with big changes, you guys. One thing I want to add to this, like how to overcome overwhelm, is I totally forgot. So I have no idea. It just went right out of my head.
That's great. That's great.
Okay.
Well, the big thing is, right? So whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, right, get grounded in the specifics, right? Some of us may walk into work tomorrow morning to find 100 emails, and you just sit down, you turn on your computer, 100 emails, and you're like, oh, there's no way I can get through all these emails. I've got to be in a meeting. I've got to do this. I've got to do that, right? The fact of the matter is, when you start to investigate those specifics, most of those emails are junk. You don't need them. You don't need to respond to them. You clear them out. Maybe now you've got 10 to 20 emails that you need to respond to, and you can chunk that into manageable pieces, right? Set a specific amount of time aside. Take action toward responding, right, as time permits, right? But bring yourself out of overwhelm. Or just choose, hey, look, I'm not going to get overwhelmed by this. Those emails, if they needed me, they would call me. Set those emails aside. Let's focus on what's important, right?
Let's talk a little bit about some action steps, okay? So,
yep.
You guys, here's some action steps. 1, get clear on the amount of money you're going to make, what the money's for, and how freaking awesome it feels to make it. Then you want to decide with unshakable commitment. Oh, we're changing it. Unshakable commitment that you are making this money.
That was my shakable commitment.
It's like, get a plan together to make the money you desire. Chunk the plan into bite-sized pieces and focus on one goal at a time. Hold an image in your mind of the life you're creating and all the money that's flowing towards you with eager excitement, hardcore faith, and deep gratitude. This is probably one of the most, there's a lot of important statements, but as I just read this, I realized this is probably the most profound, small, short little statements just right now in this moment, which is do your best wherever you are at. So drop a little note below, say, I'm going to do my best wherever I'm at. I'm kind of moved by that a little bit. Like, wow, it gives me a little bit of freedom. Like, doing the best wherever I'm at. When the universe presents you with an opportunity that leads in the direction of your goal to make more money, make the leap. Make the leap.
Reminder, one of the biggest banana peels on the road to success is fragmenting your time and focus. Okay, make the leap, but keep in mind, there might be a banana peel if you let your focus shift, right?
Yeah.
Maintain your focus.
Yeah. This was my biggest struggle, James. I was like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. And I was the one that like, okay, I want $1 million. Please give me $1 million. Right. Like I was the spiritual person who was just meditating and really just like, okay, it's going to happen. I know it. I have faith. Right. But really make the leap and remember on the road to success, you know, the biggest banana peel is fragmenting your time and focus.
Yep. And a firm decision sets everything in motion, right? So your mindset and your actions, and it all alerts universal intelligence to start moving in your direction. Yeah. All right. So
That's
keep that in
good.
mind, you
Wait,
guys.
I want to say it one more time.
Yeah.
Go.
So a firm decision sets everything in motion, your mindset and your actions, and all those alert universal intelligence to move in your direction. So having that crystal clear image in your mind, right? Making that firm decision and letting the universe know, hey, no, this is the way it's going to be, sets everything in motion. So the clearer and more specific you can be and focused, that's the ticket.
You know, there's quite a bit of stuff in this chapter that we didn't get to cover today, okay, you guys, like between the difference between can't and don't want to, like last resort spending, right? Anticipating your obstacles. There's a lot of things and great content that Jen delivers in this chapter that we didn't necessarily get to cover. So really, this is a very meaty chapter. It's one of the most important. I mean, she says if you tear this one page out, right, like this is what you want to do, make a decision and go after it, okay? And so really go back and read this chapter. It's a great chapter. And we're going to start wrapping up here right now. And just, of course, as usual, we say thank you to each of our viewers. We say thank you to our team. I say thank you to James. And thank you for taking the time to be in the gym with us, this Money Mindset Gym. Abundance mindset, I kind of want to, or wealth mindset, I guess, Jim, to impact your life, right? Don't forget to write in your little notebooks about the money mantra for the week, what's showing up for you in the money mantra. Like what I mean by that is like this week's money mantra is I love money because I am a fearless, badass money making machine. Woo! Let's say that again. I love money because I am a fearless, badass money making machine. So notice as I just say that out loud, you can hear the power in fearless, you can hear the power in badass, not quite the power in money making machine yet. That's what I mean. Notice where you're stopped. Notice what doesn't live for you. Like maybe you're not fearless, but you're a badass and you're a money making machine. Or maybe you are, vice versa, whatever it is, right? Okay, so that's the money mantra opportunity to stop, notice the money mantra, identify what's in the way, and start to kind of cause some breakthroughs for yourself with that. The bonus assignment was really just get out of your comfort zone this week. Okay, get out of your comfort zone. Nothing happens inside your comfort zone, right? You don't get anywhere sitting around inside your comfort zone. Receive and spend the money with faith and gratitude that is coming back to you. Keep your frequency high and focus strong. Demand of yourself that you'll do everything, especially taking many more scary leaps into new heights to make the money back, and do not stop until you do. The last point is do not stop until you do. All right. One little logistical thing, Jen Sincero is going to be in Naperville, Illinois. A group of us are going to be heading up there to go say hello and meet her. She doesn't know we're coming, and then we're going to go surprise her and be like, hey, nice to meet you. What a pleasant surprise that the author of the book that we are doing, that we launched this with, is going to be so close to us. So feel free to reach out on the closed Facebook group to see who wants to go and kind of just be a little community outing out there. James, as we wrap up, we have about another minute. Anything you want to say just about today to close us off?
Yeah. Show up. That's something that my uncle actually told me when I was really young, and I had no idea what he was talking about. He said, look, half of life is about showing up. Just show up, right? Make that decision to show up. Make the decision to live. Make the decision to be rich. Make the decision to be the one. Make the decision to be happy. Make the decision to be healthy, right? Show up.
Yeah.
Keep doing that. And thank you.
There's one particular person, I won't say her name, but she's in our Facebook group, and she is like grateful for Mondays to come along because she is here doing this work. She is creating, she is pulling it towards her. She is like finding money I mean, it's so inspiring, and it's sharing stories like that in the closed Facebook group. It's sharing about your 100 gratitude list. It's sharing all those things that help keep the vibration of the whole tribe up as we keep going through this, you guys. And, you know, we have just kind of a few more chapters coming up. How many, James? We're going to go over 2 or 3 minutes really quick, but James, how many more chapters do we have after this?
Gosh, I think this was 8. There are what, 13?
4 more, maybe 12.
Yeah, something like that. Only a couple, you guys.
So we have about 4 more chapters in this book, you guys, and it's been tremendous. We are looking for our next book. We'll probably be putting out a little poll thing to see kind of what book you would like to dive into next, and keep in the Mindset Gym with us. So we really, really appreciate you, and thank you so much. That's it. Oh, 5. We have 5 more chapters left. Okay, good. So 5 more chapters. And I know you guys, I say this now because some people have issues with completion, right? Like as we start to get closer to completing something, stuff kind of comes up. So starting the process of that now so that you can start dealing with that, because we've been in the gym, you know, and James and I haven't decided if we're going to take like a little break in between the next book, or if we're going to just dive in with you guys like with the next book. We're still working out some of those things and the kinks that I talked about earlier, but we really, you know, as we start to complete, one of the things that has you build your confidence and unshakable faith and connection with the universe is being powerfully able to complete, right? And that's in all areas. Powerfully being able to complete in relationships, with yourself, with others, in family and business, powerfully completing. So we have about 5 more chapters in which we're going to be on here every week talking and at the gym with you guys, the Mental Wealth Gym. And we appreciate you. Thank you for doing the work with us. So that's it for me.
All right. Thank you guys for being with us today. We know that, you know, look, we've done a lot. There's still a little bit left to go, right? So show up, make that decision, be grateful for everything that you've gone through so far, and make the decision, right? Show up, take the action, because that's the other half of this,
Yep.
right? So Erlinda, thank you for putting everything together, for having the idea to, you know, take the leap, move us all forward, right? Because without your vision, none of us would be here. Thanks. So thank you for that. And thanks to our team for doing everything that you guys have done behind the scenes. It all matters.
It all matters, yes. All of it matters. All. Like when you respond with a comment, when you watch this later or rewatch it, it all matters. It helps shift the vibration for yourself and others. So really, not like significant, but I think James and I just got really present to that it all matters. So James, thanks for saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Have a great, great week, you guys, and we'll see you next week. Oh, actually, we'll see some of you guys on Thursday for the Jensen Chero event. So looking forward to that, and we send lots of love. Peace out. Bye.
Bye.